Welcome, welcome to another EBX discussion. And thank my soldiers and soldierettes, because if you alive and breathing, we are back to fight another day. And let's get right on in to them honors. Honor their ancestors and anyone we held in our families that transition, that we held dear. May they rest in peace and in power. And may all of our wonderful families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And if you stay with it, my brothers and sisters, stay studying our psyche. Of course, pay attention to our surroundings, enjoy our life, have fun, crack jokes, have a sense of humor. Can't be serious all the time. But at the same time, we stay focused. And when you're in alignment with that great divine, you'll be able to balance these things. The more serious we get with ourselves and just in life in general, like I said, at the same time, we have fun. But the more we pay attention and educate ourselves, real spiritual education, things will become somewhat simple. You'll be able to see clearer, and you'll see storms before they even come. Pretty soon they'll disappear. Because when you stay with that divine, can't go wrong, amidst the mistakes and the little human things we do sometimes. Sometimes I hate this freaking human body. Said this before, but when you become spiritually attached to that great divine, really, truly spiritually connected, not just saying it, when we really do it, we'll feel it within our soul, our spirit, and then it will show in our physical. But it takes work, it takes studying, and it takes enduring the levels that we have to go through to get to a success state in our mind. And when we stick to those we love, which is family, children, those we are teaching before us, anyone that we care about that want to grow, even if they don't want to grow, we still try to help anyway. It's always up to ourselves to want to grow. But one thing that I have learned on this walk, brothers and sisters, which I'm sure many others have learned too, salute, that when it's all said and done, through all the stuff we go through, when we stay true within ourselves, our heart, be as honest as we can possibly be. It's all about what's in our heart. No fake shit, no malice, no jealousy, no hate, nothing that can hinder us, because that's what will break that connection. I don't care how tough things seem. We have to stay spiritually connected. It's very important. That's what has gotten a lot of us through this life, by staying connected. And I always go back to, no matter what we call it, what we put on it, we all can agree on that there's a higher force in this world, because we all have experienced it, right? So I say that a lot, so I'm not going to get into it too much. But one thing, when you come through the smoke screens and you see clear and you're finally spiritually stable, that great divine will always be our biggest fan. Always. And how do I know this, brothers and sisters, soldiers and soldierettes? Salute. Because think of the things that higher force, that great divine, has brought so many of us through. Times, things that we never thought that we would pull through. And then, pull yourself up to the present. Look at the things that we're accomplishing now. Look at the things that downloads into our spirit now. Look at the things that we are experiencing. Those that are open and have an open mind. And mind is not closed. Because you can't close that channel. And I'm talking righteously and talking nothing negative or evil. Now, you can't channel in good things from that spiritual world if you're not doing it on purpose, if you're not trying to, if you're not seeking that spiritual power. And I'm not trying to sound all cosmic and like I'm this powerful person. I'm just speaking on, things that I have experienced while, when I meditate, or, some people call it prayer, but if you so heartedly take it serious, you will feel the impactment of that spiritual life. But, you can't be thinking it's weird and worry about what people think, because that force, that great divine, loves boldness. It doesn't want you to be shy and shy away from that spiritual power. No, it wants you to step into it and embrace it and not give a crap what something on the outside might think. And I'm not talking about people per se. I'm talking about entities. Because remember, folks, you'll hear me say a lot of times there are entities working through people. So that's why sometimes you have to look deeper into things, as I said recently. And when you look deeper into things, especially ourselves, because of course we can't know things on the outside if we don't kind of understand ourselves real way. Because that's truly, I always say self-awareness is the best education. But, like I'm getting ready to say, I mean, knowing yourself, brothers and sisters, I mean, like really being honest with your inner self is the ultimate freedom. I just don't know any other freedom. Freedom is a mindset. Everybody has their different definitions and opinions of freedom. But one thing we can agree on, it's definitely a mindset. You have to feel free to be free. And being connected to that great divine, real, truly, honestly, and you've been doing it for a long time, yes, it will come into fruition. You will see things. You will feel better. Like I said, through the little hurdles we might jump and the little human things we do here and there. But the further we go along on this walk, the more time we spend on this planet, the more serious we take things and see the world for what it is, and don't get caught up in the WEB, the web, and really, really pay attention to oneself and the outer, person, place, or thing. When you can begin to overstand and understand things one thing at a time, you're not, crowding everything together, and your mind's not all over the place, and your mind is organized. That's the beautiful thing about being really, really true to oneself. Organization is the best thing one can do for oneself, because when we are organized, brothers and sisters, it will bring about what? Beautiful results. And that's what this whole walk, this is what our life should be about: solutions and results, and talking is good. Talking is good. Even if talking to yourself, work things out to yourself, remember that great divine is our biggest fan, and that higher force hears everything, even when we're by ourselves, even when we're not talking. Remember, it even hears our thoughts. Again, I'll say, some individuals have no idea how really powerful the divine really is. It is the most powerful being that you will ever experience, that we will ever experience in our lives. It's more powerful than the devil. It's more powerful than anyone that has money, any entertainer or celebrity or politician. It is above everything. It's the universe, folks. What is bigger than the universe? And the universe is massive, and it's never ending, and it has no gravity. So you name one thing in this world that's more powerful than the whole universe. I'll wait. And there is nothing. So that's why you'll hear me say sometimes, some individuals has no idea how powerful the great divine really is. That's why when we begin to take that higher force and know that there is a higher force, and we start taking it serious, we see it move in our lives. Because a lot of times the great divine is watching over all of us, even those that don't pay attention, because it gives you little hints. Like I said before, I love the way the great divine moves, but our eyes have to be open. Our pineal gland have to be open to be able to receive things from that higher force. When you're in your own feelings and you're superficial and petty and all you just, focused on little small insignificant things, you'll miss those blessings that you can get from that spiritual realm. Once you take it serious and you connect on to it, and I'm pretty sure those who are listening to the sound of my voice that are connected to a higher force know exactly what I'm talking about. This is not just talk, especially I'm going to tell you, the individuals that, I feel a connection to their higher force, but I will tell you individuals that really have that connection, those that have had near-death experiences. Now, I think I've had situations where if I would have made a choice, maybe something could have happened to me. But there are those that literally died and came back. Now, those are the individuals that, that begin to take that spiritual realm serious, because when you literally like die and are brought back, can you imagine, brothers and sisters, what individuals that have experienced that, what they have seen on the other side? So, and only them and the great divine knows. So that's why I take it serious. That's why, one's not afraid of death, but I'm not gonna, one shouldn't be in the world like walking like we Superman and think nothing can happen. Nothing like that. It's just when you walk with that divine, there is no fear. And it doesn't mean you're a gangster or you're hard. It's a courage, it's a toughness that can be explained. One has to experience it. It's a fear that's undeniable, something that you don't have to work hard for. It just comes. That's why that great divine wants us to be bold, and not just in public or in front of people, but just be bold within ourselves. When we're meditating or pray, we shout it out, love our great divine, or we say, rebuke that devil, dissipate, disappear up into the universe where there's no gravity, and disintegrate. Because remember, folks, like I said, when I said this before, I actually made a podcast called Rebuke and Dissipate and Disappear. Because when we rebuke things, brothers and sisters, we have to tell it to dissipate, disappear, because we don't want it to go to nobody else, right? We want it to go into the air and let the universe deal with it, because once it's in the air, it's trapped. So that's just my way of looking at that spiritual realm, because one takes it serious, because that great divine has always been in one's life. And that's what leads me to, that's what I have on my banner here. And that's me when I was a little younger. Probably, I might have been in my, I would say mid-20s, late 20s, maybe early 30s. And yes, a brother has done some time in the old penitentiary area. And that was back in, I would have to say 91, somewhere back in that time. And I'll put in my end screen, I got another podcast I did where I talked about me being in prison and getting in trouble. And I'll put it in my end screen. And I put that on my banner because I think of the times that, just, man, like I said, we've all experienced those wild moments when we are truly, truly connected to that higher force. And, like I said, sometimes we extract the needed tools of the past, but we don't get stuck in the past. So, I'll just freeze frame in that moment the things that I went through and the things that one asked for at that time, and things that just happened, and that great divine has just always been in one's life. And I'm sure it's been in others' lives like that too. If you had some magical wow moment in your life that you got from that higher force, please put it in the comments. I would like to hear it. I really would. What was the most wowing thing that ever happened to you that came from a higher force that you just can't explain? That and tell me how many times it happened to you. I really would like to know that. And I've had a lot of those wow moments, just stuff that's just, man, it's like, wow, there's gotta be a God, but you only see things like that when you really, really do know that force like that, when you're really connected to that great divine. And that great divine will always be our biggest fan through everything. That's why you have to put that great divine above everything. That's one of those centering mechanisms I always talk about. That's what always centers me. Like if I feel that human flesh trying to step in, and I will say, no, my great divine, or our great divine, has to say overall at the end of the day. That's a good centering mechanism, especially if you know that you have experienced great things from your past, from that great divine. Because a lot of things that great divine has put in us as we were growing up, That's what shaped a brother or sister and made us the soldiers and soldierettes we are today. Salute. And just keep on. And just keep going, keep forging, keep marching, keep being that soldier and soldierette. Salute that we are. And that great divine will still keep on being our fan, because we are definitely those that are 100% to the pit of our soul righteous. We are that great divine's favorites, because that higher force loves positive energy. Because what does positive energy do? It makes things move smooth. When things are positive and constructive and disciplined and accountability is taken, things are just so smooth that way. Then when you stay positive, even amidst it, because like I said, our emotions are going to go up and down. But when you've been on this walk for a while, you know oneself. Even if you do kind of let your emotions kind of jump out there a little bit, you know who you are as a person when you've been connected to that great divine for a long time, and you're serious about one's walk and serious about those you are connected to via family, children, etc. Because when you're in a positive state and all you looking to do is be positive and share that great spirit that you have from that great divine, and you just want to share it to others, life will become somewhat smooth, and that great divine will put things in front of us that we'll see before it happens. But we have to be truly connected. It's not a joke. It's not a game. Like I said, what is better? Being a liar, being a thief, stealing and being evil. I mean, just think of that kind of life. A person that lies all the time. I'm talking about like lies on purpose, and just their whole life is just a lie. Can you imagine the turmoil that individual is living in? And just think about that. That's where they're being empathic comes in. Just think of you just flat out no good, lying, using everybody. That would be a miserable individual, So that's why I say, when you are on that right side, you just have to stay with it. Because remember, the divine moves, that force moves on its time, not our time. And I've said this before, the great divine is the only time, and always on time. Because that's how that force moves. Because the great divine knows what we need, before we even need it, and also knows who we are and what we will become. Knew all this the day we were born, because that's what I like about being connected to that higher force. It just shows you so many things, and it knows who can handle that power and who can't. We see it abroad. We see it on social media, politics, Hollywood. We see who can handle gifts and who cannot. Because that great divine, if he think you're worthy, and it will give you that power. But guess what? Sometimes it will give those that it doesn't think worthy to give power, because it knows that individual's intentions, and it'll give him that power anyway. Even if it knows, that force knows they're going to cock it all up. Because sometimes that force can feel a boastful person, a person that doesn't mean well. Because remember, that universe knows one's heart. We can't hide nothing. You guys hear me say this all the time. Whatever we hide, or whatever malice, whatever evil, toxic thing that we have inside, the great divine is going to draw it out. But you never know how that higher force is going to draw it out. Very, very, that's why I say, I love how that great divine moves. And, like I said, we're going to do things as a human being. We're humans. It's just a vessel. But the inside can be beautiful. The outside can be beautiful too. But when the inside is beautiful and cleansed, and, you just want to see great things in others and in yourself. And when you do that, it just make your circle so strong. Even, it's not, communication is good. It's about communication. We do have to communicate with one another. I've said this before too. The divine didn't create us not to communicate. but we could also communicate spiritually. You know, like us all, I've said this time and time again, even though if we're not communicating with others, you know, we are still spiritually connected to those. So that's why we just, you know, just be as real as we possibly can while we're on this spiritual walk. And that, I'm telling you, the great divine will always be our biggest fan and always have been. I mean, just look back, just check the resume, brothers and sisters, in your life, and just think of all the times that great divine that just pulled us through. And guess what, brothers and sisters? Still pulling us through and has many things for us in the future. Because remember, folks, what I say, the higher force knows our heart, knows what we want, and knows what we want to do. So that great divine will put things in your path so you can get where you need and get where you need to go. Because why? Why does that great divine seems like it shows up in some individuals' lives and not others? Because some don't pay attention. Because a lot of times it show up in everybody's life. It's just up to us to pay attention to it and tap into that unknown. I'm talking about the righteous unknown, not that dark shit, not that evil shit, not that shit. I'm talking about things which is beautiful, whereas every day is almost like seeing a beautiful rainforest, or, you know, most days can be like watching a beautiful waterfall. That's why you see me doing a lot of podcasts where it's in the universe or nature. I've showed podcasts where it shows mountains and stuff like that, because that's where one's mind is. You know, I want to be above petty shit. You know, that's why you have to keep your mind that way. It don't mean that you're better than nobody or nothing like that, because those that we're connected to, if they are real and seeking that higher force, they can be up there too. Their mind, everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice. That great divine gives us all free will. We all have divine abilities. It's up to us to manifest it and share it to others and help them grow, because we always have to teach others so our circle can be strong. So when we teach and reach and show that real genuine love to our circle, and they're growing, and then they teach somebody, and then they teach somebody, and it's beautiful when that can happen, you know. But we have to stay spiritually connected to that divine so that circle can't get broken. So, and it's getting to that point, and a lot of us are becoming spiritually connected, you know, amongst the human mistakes we might make. And just a little side note, I always talk about I volunteer at my son's school, and I do. And I was supposed to volunteer yesterday, and I didn't make it. I didn't get up. I overslept. So I just wanted to be honest and throw that out there. But I still will be volunteering, because I do work a job, but that's no excuse. But I was tired and I didn't make it. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. That's one of those, you know, one of those human things, you know. And I always talk to my divine when something's like bothering me, or and something don't feel right, and you know, because I want to help our community as much as I possibly can, you know. And I don't want to be being fake and saying I'm doing something and I'm not. So I try to be as transparent as I possibly can, because I appreciate brothers and sisters that take the time to listen to a brother, because it's a lot of great brothers and sisters that's speaking out there, reaching and teaching, because I have learned from some. So I will always appreciate those that take the time out of your day, you know, to come in and listen to a brother. And, you know, that was just a little side note. But I'll continue volunteering, and I'll get better. I got to start going to sleep. Got to when you come to things like that, that's when you rationalize and you go inside. Okay, like use myself an example. You know, I was okay, I have to go to bed early. You know, don't eat late at night. You know, we have to think of reasons why we oversleep or why we're tired. We can't just say, oh, I'm tired, I don't feel like going. No, I have to go to sleep, because I didn't go to sleep the night before. I did stay up a little late. And a lot of times sometimes I might be watching TV, you know, just relaxing. Or sometimes I might be writing music or doing something educational, researching or something like that. In any event, I was up too late. So I just have to go to sleep and get some rest so I can get up and volunteer. So that's just what I'm saying. That's how you work out things, and just always never be ashamed. Talk to our divine, and just, just next time you just do better. That's how we do. We don't beat ourselves up and get down. We stay on board. Because remember, when we are true to oneself and we got realness in our heart and we're not on bullshit, that great divine will always be our biggest fan. It has been our biggest fan. And I know a lot of brothers and sisters are feeling this and has had many wild moments in your life. And we are all here because of that great divine. And great things will come because what? Because of why? Because that great divine is our biggest fan and always have been our biggest fan. And that's my thought. So just stay connected, my brothers and sisters. And that's all it takes. It's one magical moment that you can't explain. And it will make you want to be even more greater and be even more connected. But I'm telling you, the most beautiful part when we can pass that energy on to the young or those that are currently with us. That's the beautiful thing. Because it's a very fulfilling thing when we reach another person, when we help another. Just really think about that. When you impact someone's life and change it, literally change their whole mindset and make them better. And then, especially if they got family, if they got children, and they take that inspiration that they get from me or other teachers, whether brother or sister, and literally incorporate it into their lives. That's a beautiful thing. And that's what this whole spiritual walk is all about. A whole lot of things is mixed in there. Hip hop, truth, exposing evil entities, all that is intertwined and being connected with that great divine. Because when we speak boldness and we ain't taking no shit, that great divine will always be our biggest fan. So that's my thought. And I give honor and I salute to the reachers and teachers, brother or sister, that's doing their thing in an unapologetic way. Salute. And I honor your family. I honor my family. Thank my soldiers and soldierettes for stopping in to another EBX discussion. Salute. And I honor my children. I honor their mothers. Like I said, I honor my family. One love. And rest in peace and in power to my cousin L'Oreal Lyrical. Her birthday was yesterday. And may she rest in peace and in power. Her spirit will never be forgotten. And if you haven't heard, got the song on here called Stop the Violence that she did and I did and a couple of others that was on the song. So on my channel, if you like, you can check that out. And her spirit will never be forgotten. So, like I said, honor my children, my family, honor their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you have the ultimate peace in your part of the world. And have a great, 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 strong one.